Yo, what is up guys, your boy Clouds here, and yes, I finally got my main account back. For those of you that weren't in the live stream the other day, I did get my main account on Roblox hacked. However, we got that all settled. I got my main account back, and we got the video a lot of people have been asking for, bruh. Fruit review on Tori. I waited to get a little bit of experience with Tori, so, I can go in this video knowing what I'm talking about. And yeah, I'm making this video going over the fruit review of Tori. We're going to be going over our opinions, some gameplay, what I think the fruit's good at, bad at. We're gonna give it an overall rating at the end of the video. So hopefully y'all enjoy this. For those of you that asked for this, here it is right here, man.
Maybe not today. I've been standing at the fence, so I need you to stay. I've been trying to get away from it. Yeah.
Okay guys, so first things first, let's get into the moveset of Tori. And the first move I want to go over is Phoenix Talons. Now a couple of things to note about this is, one, it does not go through Logia dodges, so it is not something you can use without hockey. You need to use hockey to hit through your opponent. Next thing we need to note is it scales off of sword mastery, so it'll do damage based off of how much sword mastery you have. Third thing to note is you guys can see those burn damage ticks. Those actually heal me, and this makes it interesting because for every burn damage that you deal to your opponent, you're healing for the same amount of burn damage that you're dealing. So this actually makes it worth it to actually use Phoenix Talons in the middle of a match. The next move we have here is half Phoenix form. As you guys can see, pay close attention, it does that jump animation as I'm going into half form, and I'll get into later in the video on why that's actually a good thing. But yeah, this is the second move, nothing really insane. Third move, Flames Rejuvenation, and we'll showcase the healing factor right here. You guys can see I'm healing pretty decently. However, one thing to note is the stam drain that it's taking. Like, it's actually wild stam drain. Next move, Phoenix Burst. I have to be in half or full form to use this move, and I'll showcase that right here. If I use Phoenix Burst in half form, it only shoots out one little fireball as such right here. And I'll show you guys this right now. However, and this brings us into our fourth move, as you guys can see. If I use Phoenix Burst in my fourth form, my full form I mean, it shoots out 3 fireballs. Now, Phoenix recently got a damage buff, so these fireballs and the ult do more damage, whereas before they didn't really deal with that much. I'm dealing 63 per hit times 3 plus burn damage with 385 in Devil Fruit. I mean, that's like almost 300 damage right there, and that's actually not bad. That's pretty solid for Tori. And that brings us into our last move, which you also have to be in full or half form to use, and that is Starburst Stream. Now this is an auto tracking move. It'll automatically hit anyone around the area, so this makes it potentially really good for 2v2s, as you might be hitting both people at the same time. Don't underestimate this ult. It honestly deals more damage than you might think. It honestly impressed me when I first got Tori. I've ended so many battles in 1v1s with that ult right there. Yeah, guys, that's the moveset of Tori. Overall, it's not that great of a moveset. However, the moves are good. Every move has their uses, and we will get over them in the video. But yeah, that's the moveset so far. Alright guys, so next off, before we get into the gameplay and the strategies and tips or whatever, we're going to go over just some pros and cons that I've kind of thought of with this fruit. Let me know down in the comments what you think the pros and cons for this fruit is, and what you would add to the pros and con list. So the first pro, I would say, and this is kind of just a little bit self-explanatory, this fruit is surprisingly good at farming. I was able to boss farm with this fruit, ship farm with this fruit, and as you guys can see, I soloed to wave 25 dungeons with this fruit. I uploaded a video on it, and it was really due to the damage buff. It thoroughly surprised me how decent this fruit could be at farming, when everybody else told me it was impossible to boss farm, it was impossible to ship farm, it was impossible to dungeon farm with this fruit. I was able to find a build that was able to do it all, and relatively easy as well. And the healing factor really helps in some of those situations, such as boss farming, to be honest, and dungeon farming. So that is one kind of, I guess, pro. And another pro is the damage output. Since it got buffed, it does make this a relatively good damage dealing fruit overall, like the burn damage, and it's just nice. Now let's get into some of the cons of this fruit. There's no block break other than the ult. Marco used a lot more moves in the show that they could have added to this kit. I don't really know how they would incorporate a block break into this, but there's no block break and there's no real ability to apply pressure. What I mean by that is the fruit by itself. The fruit by itself doesn't really have an ability to apply pressure to opponents. Talons don't hit through Logia, which they should. They really should. Phoenix Burst is one of the easiest moves to dodge because it's blockable, and as you guys can see, it is pretty slow. It's not like super slow, but it's like slower than Pika Kick, slower than he can. You guys get the gist, and it is a super reactable, super blockable move. The only block break and the only like really good move, like super good move we have on this kit is Starburst Stream. And to elaborate a little more on the fact that this fruit doesn't really have the ability to pressure, by itself, if you look at other fruits, their innate ability to apply pressure, Phoenix just doesn't compare to them. Mara's ability to apply pressure with, you know, Firefly's good long range attack, you can catch people off guard with it. Flame Pillar, even he can because it's really fast, sometimes hard to react to. Pika with the 2 block breaks. Gura with all the block breaks and, you know, fast, hard to react moves, good AoE. Goro, good AoE, high damaging. Those fruits, even without a fighting style, have the ability to, you know, put pressure, apply pressure to opponents in PvP. Whereas Tori, in order to get that pressure and combo capability, you need to 100% add a fighting style. So its kit by itself, it doesn't really have that ability to pressure. And I think that's a pretty big con of this. Next thing is the stamina drain. Now in the full form, the stamina drain, you guys can see, is already pretty massive. You add the Flames of Rejuvenation, you guys can see my stamina is draining so quick, like very quick. Keep in mind, I have 8 stamina regen. Literally my entire build and equipment is built around stamina regen, and I'm not even like increasing any stam to the amount of rate that it's draining, which is insane. So honestly, I think that is a huge detriment to this fruit. I wish the stamina drain was like at least slightly worse, and it would make this fruit automatically a lot better. Those are some of the pros and cons I have. I didn't really go too deep into it, but let me know what y'all would add onto that pros and cons list. But with that said, let's hop into the matches and we'll go over some strategies and tips in the PvP matches. Okay guys, so get into this next match. We're actually going against a guy that was actually in the 1-star style video as well. He told me I should do Kiribashi only next. And first of all, just getting into some of the tips that I have to give with Tori. First of all, I can say that if you're going to be doing PvP with Tori, you should always at least have 300 damage in Devil Fruit. And the reason I say that is because it's actually important. Anything under 300 Devil Fruit and you're not going to be dealing that much damage, to be honest. And honestly, 300 damage is just a good middle ground to have like a lot of damage. So the next tip, as you guys can see right there, I popped Flames of Rejuvenation without actually going into full form. And this is something that a lot of people actually forget about to do, that you can pop Flames of Rejuvenation without going into full form. And honestly, I feel like it's pretty important. Let me activate Talons actually. Get him with the Impale. Okay, so another tip I can give for you guys is, well actually I'm just gonna finish him off right here. Perfect. When you're using your ult, like so, you can get out of full form and it'll actually allow you to start regenerating on stamina and you continue using the ult. This is actually a pretty good tip that not a lot of people know about, and it can be very useful because let's say you're low on stam but you just want to get your ult out the way. It allows you to save on your stamina a little bit because you're not using as much stam. Staying in full form while you're doing your ult, honestly, is just a waste of stam at that point. And honestly, you should get used to managing your stamina that way. It'll help you a lot in the long run, and having stamina with Phoenix like really helps you a lot. The next tip I can say is using half form. I kind of failed right there, but using half form to get out of combos is something you should get used to. And what I mean by that is you guys can take advantage of the fact that using half form pushes you up in the air. And for example, you know that Collier combo every Black Leg user likes to use. If you use half form right as they're about to use Collier, they will hit you with the Collier, but they will not be able to confirm off that, meaning they won't be able to hit you with another stack of M1s afterwards. Good game to this guy. I have some more tips to give you guys next match, but that was a good first game, I ain't gonna lie to you. Alright guys, getting into our next match, I just have a few more tips I can give you guys to help you out. The next tip I'm gonna give you guys is going over probably the best build for Tori in my opinion. The best build for Tori right now, I would say, is my Fishman Tori build. I uploaded a video on it going over what I thought was the best build for Tori. It was a Fishman build. I won't gonna lie to you, like that. The Fishman build honestly is just free combos with Tori if you think about it, man. Like the way Fishman allows you to combo with Tori is actually insane. And there's no other fighting style that can really complement Tori the way Fishman does, in my personal opinion. So I honestly recommend, if you have Tori and you're serious about PvP, really look into getting Fishman Tori. Honestly, it's probably the best fighting style for Fishman, followed by Roku. Roku is also pretty good fighting style for Tori as well, I would say. But it's not nearly as good as Fishman. Fishman just really supports Tori, and I literally have a combo that deals almost like half health with Fishman Tori. So yeah, next tip I could say is, in the event you get a perfect block or guard break, always use Phoenix Burst. This is an easy way to get a free Phoenix Burst and a ton of damage off. Just get in the habit of, whenever you get a perfect block or a guard break, just always use Phoenix Burst. Man, it's just like, actually, oh, he's quitting. Yeah, is he actually gonna quit? He said he's not doing this. It's not even that bad, bro. But yeah, always get in the habit, if you get a perfect block or guard break off, get in the habit of doing Phoenix Burst right away. And the last tip I can honestly give you guys is take advantage of talents. Like you guys can see, sometimes throughout this fight, I'm actually using talents to take advantage of that little healing factor. And honestly, I guess that's just the last bit of advice I can give you guys on Tori and PvP, is to really just take advantage of talents, man. Like, sometimes I'm going to use it here and there. I don't really know what I was doing there. I kind of messed it up. We got him there. But yeah, that's pretty much most of the advice I can give you guys on Tori. That's pretty much what's helped me kind of win a lot of battles with Tori. GG to this guy, man. I'm sorry. Yeah, I healed the fool there. But yeah, that was actually a good game. I ain't gonna lie. Hopefully those tips help you guys. Okay guys, those were 2 good matches. Now coming into the conclusion of the video, overall I would say Tori is a pretty solid fruit in the right hands. Now, do I think this fruit needs a complete rework, as some people have been requesting? No, I don't think it needs a complete rework. I think even just small changes would go a long way. 1. Phoenix Talons. If Phoenix Talons went through Logia dodge, that would make a huge impact on this fruit. I feel like there's no reason Phoenix Talons should not go through Logia dodge. You should not need hockey to hit Logia users with this move. Considering it's a mythical in this game, it's kind of pitiful. The next thing, I feel like sometimes they could go for like a bit of a stam regen nerf. The stam regen is just actually insane with this, especially when you start activating the healing form. I'm not saying we need to go back to what it was before, because what it was before was way too little stam regen, but right now it just feels like a bit too much stam. I keep saying stam regen. Stam drain, my bad. But yeah, the stam drain right now is honestly insane. But if I had to give this fruit a rating, you know, it has its ups, it has its downs. The downs really are, you know, what I talked about earlier in the pros and cons. I would probably give this a 7.5 to 8 out of 10. And the reason kind of so low is because without the perfect build, this fruit, it kind of just seems average. If you find the perfect build with this fruit, then that's when it really starts to shine. And I'm talking like Fishman Tori. In my eyes, you know, I've experimented with every kind of build with Tori, and everything other than Fishman Tori was just kind of an average build. Fishman Tori was like really where Tori kind of shined. You know, I had a combo that did like almost half health with Fishman Tori, and that was really what I felt like supported Tori. Other than that, I mean, it's a solid fruit. You can grind with it solo. You can pretty much do anything in the game with it. And I mean, it's a ton of fun. It's a unique fruit, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a zone. Do I think it's worth eating? 100%. You know, this is probably the funnest fruit I've had in the game. However, you gotta note its downsides. If you don't have Fishman, it's probably not gonna be as good. I'm not really too sure how good it is with Roku, like with the new Afro Dash going around. I'm not sure if you could do Afro Dash into Phoenix Burst confirm. I don't know if that's confirmed. I don't know how much time I don't know if you have enough time to pull that off. If it is, honestly, Roku might be better than Fishman for Tori, but I'm not sure about that yet. Anyways, that's my rating, yo. Hopefully y'all enjoyed this video. Let me know what fruit y'all want me to review next. Took me a while to get this one out because I wanted to get really comfortable with the fruit before I decided to share my opinion on it. Anyways, it's been your boy Clouds. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.